Good morning on a Sunday morning. Lots of headlines, watches, warnings, advisories to get you caught up with as we're kind of in the middle of this Saturday, Sunday, Monday atmospheric river event. Yesterday, by the way, some quick rain totals, PDX for the calendar date of Saturday. Remember, it was dry as expected until about 1:30 in the Portland area. Then we picked up 75 100s altogether. Astoria picked up 1.31 inches altogether. No extreme winds. Out there right now, after seeing a break in the rain somewhat earlier this morning, the rains have now picked up. They're widespread, they're steady, and we have south breezes bouncing about 20, 25 miles per hour across the area. So, on the left, lots to get to here. This is the uh, local office out of Portland, the National Weather Service watch warning map. Basically, the purple storm warnings, high surf advisories up and down the coast. The green, which does include all of Western Oregon, all of Western Washington under just a blanket flood watch all the way through Tuesday for all this water coming. And remember, it's more than the rain. We have snow levels of 7,000 feet, so we're also melting snow melt in the mountains and draining that water into the river basins. And then in blue, not to take lightly for folks up in the high country, avalanche warnings in place. This is very typical for these high snow level, wet events because now you're dumping rain into the snowpack and you're producing a lot of weight, and that's leading to shifting snow slabs. So, pretty typical stuff. And then for a lot of you, what may be one of the bigger stories, this is from parts of Clark County all the way down to Eugene, a valley wind advisory. This is for the afternoon hours of tomorrow into Monday evening. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And there are some other high wind warnings, including the southwestern Oregon coast and the South Cascade. So pretty active stuff. I think the main event moving forward is we get some breaks in the weather overnight tonight, actually some dry time. But then Monday afternoon into Monday evening, this is kind of a blurry screen grab, but here's Portland where my cursor is. Here's a low. And see all these black isobars? See how tightly they are packed and circling this low center? This is a very intense little windstorm. And if it gets close enough to the Oregon coast, boom, we're going to get a pretty impressive fetch of wind developing Monday afternoon into Monday evening. And that's why we have this wind advisory up for the valley already issued. And there's also, it doesn't show up because it's colored up by the other colors. A wind warning is also up for the Oregon coast for that low. So, real quick, kind of just what I just told you. The Valley Wind Advisory up starting at noon Monday through Monday night. The I-5 corridor up through Clark County. South winds 15 to 30, gust to 45 miles per hour. There will also be an impressive east wind pull. Remember where the low is offshore near the Columbia River? These winds out of the gorge are going to go boom. They're going to go shooting toward that low center, tight pressure gradient. So there, some of the modeling, I'll show you this in a moment, shows over a 50 mile per hour east wind gust blowing out of the gorge. So we'll be following that. At the same time, coast high wind watch. This actually starts in the morning. But again, the worst of the wind, I think, will be Monday afternoon into the night. South wind gusts 45 to 65 miles per hour. And I will tell you, and I'll show you this in a moment, if anything, because of the intenseness of this low center, there is an absolute heightened concern that the winds, both valley and coast, tomorrow PM hours into Monday evening, could be worse than what these numbers are that I'm showing you. So this absolutely deserves your attention. And then the blanket flood watch, all areas through Tuesday night. Again, going back to the rain that started yesterday, Saturday, and that will fall through Monday into Monday night. Coast and mountains will see 4 to 6 inches of total rainfall. Over 2 inches, looking to be a decent bet here in the Willamette Valley. We're already nearing an inch, and we've got a long ways to go yet. So all of that producing a risk of river flooding, especially the rivers coming out of the Coast Range. I said earlier, I don't think we get just widespread madness in terms of flood issues, but wouldn't be surprised if we get at least a couple of those Coast Range rivers in spots to go over their banks. And of course, we'll be watching for high water spots and ponding and flooded low intersections and that type of thing um, as well. Okay, this is all brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify. You can select from a variety of investment topics meant to educate you. This is from a local firm licensed in Oregon and Washington. Again, the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Let's get you into the animations, and let's start with the European model. This is a favorite of old time forecasters like myself. I'm now old enough to be considered an old time forecaster. The old 4 panel map. And on the left, we're just going to focus on the top two. On the left is the upper level flow pattern, the 500 millibar, 18,000 feet contours. And then over here on the right is the main thing I'm going to focus on. And this is the surface map. I know it's tiny, but bear with me here. Okay, so I just want to get into Monday morning. All right. There's a little break in the action coming overnight tonight into early Monday morning. Like when I go to work to KGW TV at 3:30 overnight tonight, Monday AM, might not be any rain in the area, just a few scattered showers at best. Okay, this is Monday morning at 4 a.m. Right here, there's the low. See these isobar black lines are tightly packed. This is that windstorm that's approaching. And it will also bring the final hurrah, the final surge of rain. We had the rain yesterday. We had some breaks last night until this morning. Now we have a second wave of rain that will break up, it looks like later today and this evening, and then a third and final wave of rain with this low coming during the day on Monday. So let me play this into Monday. Here's the money map. This is the money map. This is 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So over here, I'm sorry, boy, you move your cursor. These things are so sensitive. Over here is the upper level low. Notice it's parked in the enclosed contour, parked just off of the mouth of the Columbia, and then it's perfectly vertically stacked. Here's the surface low with incredibly tight pressure packing. That's a tight pressure grade. This is absolutely near shore the threat of 80, 90 plus mile per hour winds. Absolutely. The question is, will some of those intense winds, extreme winds, move just inland along the coast? And how high could the winds be rushing up the valley from the south in combination to the east winds slamming or being pulled out of the gorge toward this low? Now, by the time we get into Tuesday morning, here's Monday afternoon at 4, here's Tuesday at 4 a.m., 12 hours later. Now you can see the low is weakened and it's all the way up over the Puget Sound and pushing north into Canada. And then Tuesday is the day that everything just fairly quickly falls apart. Here are the individual, that's the setup. Here are the individual animations. This is the future radar product from the National Blended Model. Here's that secondary wave of rain. It will be steady rain much of the afternoon. The yellow right there at 1 p.m. this afternoon, including some heavier rain spots. Again, boy, widespread rain. Here it comes, right? This is 4 p.m. this afternoon. We start to see breaks along the Oregon coast, and then we get the breaks in the rain developing this evening. Again, kind of a dry break. Winds will continue to be kind of what they've been doing, 10 to 20 miles per hour, kind of garden variety stuff, but noticeably breezy overnight. And then we wake up early Monday morning. This is 4 a.m., still pretty dry. Here's the wave of rain coming up from the south. There's Corvallis, there's Salem into Aurora, Monday at 4 a.m. And then you're going to see this continue to push northward. Here we are at 7 a.m. in the morning. Time most of you are getting your day going, right? Here's the wave of rain extending out to the gorge. Heavy rain in yellow starting to work into the area as well. And then this picks up and becomes more widespread and more steady throughout much of the day. Here's Monday, 4 p.m. And this is as late as this goes. This is 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, the low center is already starting to pull a little bit to our north up here where my cursor is. And then eventually we'll see the rain break into scattered showers and the wind back off and taper off as we go into Tuesday morning. Okay. How much rain are we talking about? So this map shows you from this moment on this Sunday morning in the 10 o'clock hour, all the way through Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., which is kind of when the measurable rainfall should be coming to an end. This adds another 1 3/10 of an inch of rain in Portland, Kelso, Longview, adds another 1.6 inches rain down in Lane County around Eugene, adds another 1 1/4 up around Seattle, adds another 2 1/4 in Tillamook, adds, let me see, adds another almost 3 inches of rain down in the extreme southwestern coast of Oregon. So if Portland's already picked up nearing an inch and we get another 1.34, then that puts us up 2.34 for the event of Saturday through Monday, which is kind of right in the ballpark of what we've been talking about. And right on the threshold of amounts that would take us from a river flooding threat in the Coast Range, all of a sudden we have problems. And I'm not sure which way that's going to go. Again, this is spread out over 3 days. I'll be surprised if we don't have at least 1 or 2 Coast Range rivers that go over their banks as early as, well, I really think it's going to be that Monday push that does that. So that would be maybe Monday evening. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. And, at any time now, we're going to start seeing, even later today, increasing ponding of water and roadways. But the break in the rain overnight tonight will be huge to minimize ponding on roadways into Monday morning's commute. The break in the rain tonight will be huge to allow drainage into the Coast Range rivers to quiet a little bit. And then we'll see if that surge of rain on Monday puts Coast Range rivers over their banks or not. Okay, all right. Snow levels continue to be high, 7,000 feet. So we're getting snow melt on top of the rain into the river basins. Here is the wind, and this is of particular interest. Okay, when am I starting this? Let me see here. I'm starting this at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Okay, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let me make my window a little bit bigger so I can see a little bit better. Okay, all right. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here is the main wind machine. So where you see these yellows, that's all 50-mile-per-hour plus winds. What's that orange bullseye? Let me look at the legend. Here we are. The orange bullseye is more like 60 mile per hour winds plus. Okay, all right. So this is tomorrow morning, or actually tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. Kind of what we've had today. South winds gusting 20-25 up the valley. You've got winds gusting to 40 along the coast. Now let's play this into the 4 o'clock. Here's the 4 o'clock hour Monday. This shows the strongest winds offshore. It's going to depend on exactly where that low center is, but it shows 60 to 70 mile per hour winds out in this area. It shows winds racing up the south, the Willamette Valley from the south, Monday at 4 p.m. to 30 miles per hour. Will be in the wind advisory. It shows east winds gusting to 46 coming out of the gorge, east winds right here into Multnomah County. Let's play this into Monday evening. Okay, let me just back this up. This is Monday evening at 7 p.m. Now we got winds gusting the central and the north coast, 45 miles per hour, maybe 50. Notice right here, 54. That's an east wind gust being pulled out of the gorge as the low center approaches the north coast, as high as 54 miles per hour, combining with 30-mile-per-hour winds racing up the valley. I mean, that's a pretty good wind event. Places like the Glenn Jackson Bridge in Portland, right? And then as I play this on into Tuesday, 4 a.m., now we've got still south winds racing up the valley. I would think by this would be a switch to a southwest wind in the gorge at that time, and it would be more like a 40 mile per hour wind in the gorge from the west. And then you've got 40 mile per hour winds hanging along the north coast. And as I said earlier, I absolutely believe that there is a risk of stronger winds than I'm showing you. So I would play it safe and set things in and kind of hunker down and batten up the hatches, as they say, to prepare for this Monday afternoon, Monday evening potential wind event that could get a little bit out of hand, is the way I would phrase it. So it'll depend on the exact location of that low center. All right, let's go around the horn. Rainy 59 in Medford. This is a really mild air mass, right? I think these lows are too low. It shows 32 in Medford tonight. I don't know about that. But look at the warm weather. There's that warm spell that we're still tracking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 66 in Medford on Friday, then rain chances return on Saturday. Okay. Here's Bend. Just as warm as the valley, upper 50s today, Monday. There's the dry weather Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday getting up into the 60s. Wow, pretty nice. Here's Pendleton. I know. Notice how this is my work. This map I created. Pendleton is spelled correctly. You go to the auto feed from NOAA, it's not spelled correctly. Again, it's an auto feed product. I don't have control. I get it. It drives you nuts. It drives me nuts too. For those of you who have been letting me know this is spelled wrong, I have no control over that. All right, 58 to 60, 57 on Tuesday. We're dog sitting. This is Jade. Hi, Jade. That's Jade. We're dog sitting. And then the dry weather on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with temperatures in the 60s out east as well. Okay. Salem, 61, 58, 59. All wet in the Tuesday morning. There's the dry weather Wednesday. I don't think there's a rain chance on Thursday. 90% of weather data shows that system fading away. And that would give us dry weather in the valley Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with temperatures in the 60s and rain showers returning on Friday. Okay. Up in Seattle, really wet into Tuesday. Now, this does keep a chance of rain up to our north in Seattle, but it keeps very mild temperatures well up into the 50s through the stretch of time. You go down to North Bend, and you've got some dry weather on Wednesday, a very slight chance for a shower on Thursday, so mainly dry Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well. And there's the rain in mid 50s today, but the near 60-degree temperatures coming with the dry weather a little bit later in the week. Here's Salem, which I think we did already. Yeah, we already did Salem. Okay, all right. What we got? Are you good? Are you good? Here's Eugene. Some of you. Temperature's about the same everywhere. We're up in the 50s, maybe 60 today, tomorrow, into Tuesday. The rain gets out of here. Wednesday, I think all of the valley, including Eugene, will be dry. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then the rain chances come in on Saturday. Okay, come. All right, goodbye, Jade. Jade's a sweetheart. All right, Hazeldale Tire Pro sponsor my 7-day forecast. 60 today. Yeah. 55 tomorrow. We cool off a little bit tonight because the rain breaks up. And then the showers end and the wind ends Tuesday. And then there's that 62, 63, 63. Incredible weather Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looks like right now that Portland would be dry Saturday morning, afternoon shower chances picking up. This is a weak system. I think it delivers maybe 15 100ths of an inch of rain, all total Saturday into Saturday night. We get through this atmospheric river. We get into Tuesday. We wrap this up, and then we'll start talking about the outlook into March, which does show a below normal temperature month overall due to cold weather that start a cold weather pattern. It kind of returns somewhere around March 6th or 7th. So we'll get into that once we get through this atmospheric river flow. I'm Rod Hill, and I'll talk to you soon.